Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome officially to the channel. This is a series, as you know, where I go into odd game accessories or peripherals that developers made to get us more into the game mentally or physically. Today I have another odd controller that may be the earliest example of a rhythm game controller. If not, it's a very unique example, and one I don't think I've seen past this one, and that's Samba de Amigo. Maracas. That's right, I said maracas. So if you have a minute, hang out and let's take a look at one of Sega's attempts to get us into rhythm games with maracas in Samba de Amigo. Samba de Amigo started its life as an arcade game developed by Sonic Team and released by Sega in 1999. This saw the player grabbing a pair of maraca-shaped controllers and shaking them to the beat of popular Latin songs. The player would need to follow the prompts on the screen to determine which direction they needed to move in. If the player was able to do well, more and more people would filter onto the screen and start to dance. If the player did poorly, they would filter out, and the player would be left with just the monkey standing there looking sad, whose name was Amigo, by the way. This version of the game had 2 to 3 different stages, with bonus stages being opened up if the player earned enough points overall. The game became fairly popular due to a few reasons. One, it's easy to understand, and, well, accessibility, meaning almost anyone could pick it up and play. It was also heralded for its detailed, cartoon-like characters, vivid backgrounds, and bright colors lighting up the stages. Basically, when playing the game, it felt like a party. So it should come as no surprise that Sega wanted to capitalize on this success by porting it to their current home console, the Dreamcast. How well did this port do? What did the controllers look like? Well, let's take a look. The Dreamcast version of this was honestly pretty close to the arcade, with that mode actually being included in it as a matter of fact. However, instead of being limited to just 2 or 3 songs per stage, the player could choose any of the initial 6 songs that were unlocked to play on any of the stages. That wasn't all the songs though, there were more that could be opened up by doing the arcade or challenge modes, giving you more songs to play overall. They even added in a party mode and put in a ton of minigames like Guacamole, which played a lot like a game of whack-a-mole, Strike a Pose, that would have the player matching a long sequence of various different poses to make, and 1-2 Samba, where spots would have to be hit in a particular sequence. I know what you're asking, how did this game work? Well, the arcade version used red maracas and a series of magnetic sensors to determine their position. However, this was kind of expensive and had to be reworked for the home release. How they did this is they still used the maracas, but each one had a cord that was plugged into a bar that lies just in front of the player's feet. The bar itself was roughly 2 feet in length and came with a pad that you put in front of it that would help the player position their feet properly. Each maraca had a sensor with an ultrasonic transmitter, and this, along with the bar, helped the system triangulate the position of each maraca while being played. Comically enough, each maraca also had a small rattle in the top portion. This could actually be unscrewed and the rattle could be removed so it could play more quietly, but I'll admit, even I would have left that one in for a while just for the complete experience before I considered taking them out. The game itself was fairly popular, getting solid reviews and even a sequel called Chateau Tambourine, which I'm pretty sure I mispronounced. This was a lot like Samba de Amigo, just with tambourine controllers instead. It would even go on to be ported to the Wii, to mixed reviews, with the position of the controllers reportedly being harder to determine with the Wii hardware, making the game a bit more awkward and difficult to control, which is sort of funny and surprising that the Dreamcast did this game better than the Wii that was designed around motion controls. Its legacy honestly would persist though. Soon, games like Donkey Kong Bongos would come out, Guitar Hero would eventually come out, showing that players had a taste for this kind of game and wanted more. However, Samba itself pretty much faded into obscurity until a recent mention of a sequel coming out to the Switch called Samba de Amigo Party Central, which is slated to come out summer of 2023, and use the Joy-Cons as maracas. Only time will tell if this version stands up to the original. However, what do you guys think of this one? Did any of you ever have it, and how much fun was it? Do any of you have any interest in the sequel that's coming out? Let me know in the comments. For now though, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. If I could ask you for one more favor, please leave this video a like. And if you haven't, consider subscribing, that really helps me out a ton. However, thank you once more for spending part of your day with me, and until next time, happy gaming.